Yo, what's poppin', my people? It's your boy Crooks the Great, back at you guys with another banger of a UFC 5 video. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at some of the new fighter models for UFC 5. And I'm going to be giving you guys my honest opinion on how I think they look and hopefully the stats that we're going to see these guys have in UFC 5 as well. So the first fighter we are going to be taking a look at is Jon Jones, aka the GOAT himself. So as you guys can see here, we have two different models of UFC 5 Jon Jones right here. We have the light heavyweight version down here, and we have the heavyweight version up here. Now, first things first, shout out to EA for actually giving us two different fighter models for a fighter that's in two separate weight classes. Because in UFC 4, these guys were the same. This Jon Jones would be up in heavyweight. They looked exactly the same. So it doesn't look like that's going to, obviously it's not going to be the case in UFC 5. So shout out to them for giving us two different models. Hopefully they do this with a lot more fighters, because obviously there's a lot more fighters that are moving weight classes like Alex Pijeda and stuff like that. So hopefully they gave us two different models. But the first thing that I did notice is look at how much heavier Jon Jones looks up at heavyweight than in light heavyweight. He's a little bit thicker, a little bit chunkier up here. His face has expanded out from the light heavyweight Jon Jones. That's very interesting. Very good thing to see. Very aesthetically pleasing for those of you guys that have been clamoring for new fighter models. Very, very good stuff right here. And I'm wondering if it's going to affect his stats. Is heavyweight Jon Jones going to be slower than light heavyweight Jon Jones? I hope so, because honestly, this is, again, something that UFC 4 kind of lacked on, or doesn't kind of lacked on. They lacked on was adjusting fighters' stats when they go up in weight classes and when they shift down in weight classes. So hopefully this Jon Jones, heavyweight Jon Jones, is slower than light heavyweight Jon Jones. Hopefully that's just the case. But it's going to be interesting to see too. Is he going to be a 5-star again? Is Jon Jones going to be a 5-star in UFC 5 again? And if he is a 5-star in light heavyweight, is he going to be a 5-star in heavyweight as well? So keep your guys' eyes out for that. Keep your eye out for that. And that's a real interesting thing when UFC 5 does drop, to be on the lookout for. So, all right, the next fighter we're going to look at is Mauricio Shogun Rua. And we got the UFC legend version of him. He looks great right here. The fighter model looks beautiful. Got the inside tattoo right there on the arm. His fighter model looks great. Unfortunately, we don't see, obviously, down below the waist, so who knows? Hopefully, his model looks very accurate from head to toe, but we can't tell right here. But I love that they're giving us the UFC legend version of him. So hopefully his stats will be good in UFC 5, because in UFC 4, they're very lackluster. You don't see a lot of people using Shogun because his stats just aren't viable to use in ranked or in any online matches. So I'm hoping in UFC 5 they've really adjusted the stats to the legends to actually make them usable in online matches, because Shogun should be very, very good on the feet. He should be very, very good on the feet. And that's not really the case in UFC 4. So hopefully they, just like his fighter model, they've adjusted his stats in the game in UFC 5 as well. So the next fighter we're going to be taking a look at is none other than Minotauro Nogueira, and we're getting the Pride FC Minotauro, the prime Minotauro Nogueira. His fighter model looks pretty good. I don't know, man. I feel like he's a little bit too skinny. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like he's a little bit too thin, but, you know, I could be just capping. I could be just capping, ladies and gentlemen. But overall, the facial model looks really good. The body model, it's all right. It's all right. But I do like how they're putting the events, too, down here. So we're getting the Pride FC Shockwave 2006 Nogueira, which was a very, very good Minotauro Nogueira. So hopefully his stats match up to the way his fighter model is. I apologize. I live right by an airport, so yeah, we got some planes flying over here. So hopefully it don't come through too much on the mic, but it is what it is. So all right, here we are. We're looking at another fighter model right here, and this is none other than the Nigerian Nightmare himself, Kamaru Usman. And I gotta say, this model looks very, very good. The only thing is, just like Minotauro, he looks a little bit thin. Especially if you've seen his walkout video. He looks a little bit smaller than you would think, but the fighter model looks good. He's got the six-pack going, broad shoulders, looks very, very good. I'm interested to see how well how his stats are going to look, not how well statistically, how his stats are going to look coming off of those back-to-back losses to Leon Edwards. Hopefully he's still like he is in UFC 4, because if he is like he is in UFC 4, he's going to be a real big problem in online ranked championships. But all right, let's go into the next model that we do have here, and we have the Sugar Show himself, Sean O'Malley. And I got to say, his model looks fucking great, man. His fighter model looks excellent. We got the pink hair rocking again, because that's his signature now. Got the tattoos on his chest. Got the tattoo right here on his rib cage. He looks great. This is how Sean O'Malley really looks in real life. I'm wondering, how these are going to look when the gameplay happens. The beads at the bottom. But overall, he looks excellent, man. This is how Sean looks in real life. He's not too big. He's not rail thin. His hair isn't fucked up like it was at the beginning of UFC 4, which is hopefully is a very great sight to see. He's got the tattoos. I wonder if they're going to have his new champion tattoo that he has, that he got after he won the Bantamweight Championship. That'll be interesting to see. But overall, looks very, very good. And the last model we're going to be taking a look at is Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. And I got to say, he looks great, ladies and gentlemen. He looks great. He looks a little bit bigger than he does in UFC 4, which is great. They got the tattoos looking excellent. The legs are not disproportionate to the body, which is great. His hair looks great, and he's one of those fighters that's going to have the new hair movement from what it looks like in the trailers and stuff like that. So when you get hit or when you're hitting somebody, his hair is going to move. And also the hair color looks really good too. I feel like in UFC 4, he had a lighter, like almost whitish blonde, which kind of looks, I'm not going to lie, not kind of looks ass. It looks ass. I'm not going to lie, it looks ass. But this hair looks great. Model looks great. He's actually a little bit bigger in UFC 5 than in UFC 4, which should be the case because guys like Justin Gaethje have been saying this guy hits so damn hard. So he is a little bit bigger. And if you go and rewatch his fight with Benil Dariush, he does look a little like he put on a little bit of weight. And I would assume he's probably going to look even a little bit bigger than that when he fights Islam coming up next weekend. I would assume he's probably going to look like this. So overall, grading the whole scale of character or fighter models that we just looked at, I'd have to give it about an A to an A+. I did say some fighters look a little bit skinny, but they don't look to the point where I would be like, oh, EA did a terrible job. I'd say it's about an A to an A+. Anywhere in between there. You feel what I'm saying? An A to A+. I love the way that these guys are looking so far. I'm real interested to get my hands on the game when it does release and see the way that these guys fight. That's what I'm more interested in than the way that they look, is the stats. Are their stats going to be reflective of how they are as fighters in real life? That's more of what I'm interested in. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the fighter models. Do you guys like them? Do you guys not like them? What do you guys see as issues with them? Do you think they're great? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with what I've talked about in the videos in terms of the fighter models. And before you guys head out, make sure to slap that subscribe button if you're new. Slap that like button so this video does get passed around in the YouTube algorithm. If you guys are new to the channel, I do post UFC content pretty much on this channel daily. So if you like UFC gaming content, this is the channel for you. But until the next time, guys, take it easy. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from. And I will see you guys in the next video.